Hello, I'm Hans Breckbuhl, Executive Director of the Center for Digital Strategies at the Tuck School of Business at Dartmouth. Welcome to the overview of the Britt Technology Impact Series on this year's theme of video. The Britt Technology Impact Series is a set of events offered by the Center for the benefit of the students, faculty, staff, and other members of the Tuck School and broader Dartmouth community. The series focuses on a particular theme each year, illuminating the impact of technology on industry, on consumers, and on business in general. The goal is to bring both the business and personal implications of a set of technologies to life in a dynamic way. The series is made possible by a generous donation from Glenn Britt, CEO and Chairman of Time Warner Cable. Glenn is both a Tuck and Dartmouth alum. The theme of this inaugural 2008-2009 year is video. Our mutual hope is that this annual series will highlight relevant aspects of technology, examine current business models and how they are changing, and illustrate how customers' needs are being met. We hope that this summary of key learnings from the year's events will give you a better understanding of the dynamics and challenges facing the media and entertainment industry and the changes in how we, as consumers, are using video in our lives.
Americans have been passionate consumers of video since the first television shows were sponsored by soap and soda companies.
The exciting, fun-filled game for the entire family. Sense and nonsense!
Today, we watch video at home, on computers, DVDs, and mobile devices. And just about anyone with a camera, editing software, and an internet connection can distribute video worldwide. The question is, who's winning the battle for people, platforms, and profits? The Center for Digital Strategies at the Tuck School of Business at Dartmouth posed that question to 24 top media and entertainment industry executives invited to participate in the Britt Technology Impact Series.
I say television, but it's really video. Has to change.
Is that online streaming, as it rises and makes all of you able to take advantage of it, it actually makes television even more powerful.
In all of these discussions, the consumer is driving the change. What they want is driving the change. There's a question as the pace, there's a question of how difficult it is, the guilds, unions, the existing agreements, but it's inevitable. And so let's kind of shift the focus here to the consumer for just.
People would like to get their stuff whenever they want it, and they like access to a broad array of stuff. They like it on any device that they happen to choose, and they like it wherever they happen to be. So that may sound aspirational. Certainly 20 years ago that would have sounded weird. But the reality is technology makes that available.
Eager to meet consumer demand, big and small companies are testing new business models for producing, distributing, and monetizing video.
We're going to have to be a major revolution in terms of how content is created and at what price.
$100 million Americans download 15 billion clips on YouTube.com every month, but many clips resemble the modern equivalent of a home movie. While entertaining, user-generated content rarely holds the interest of viewers for more than a few minutes a day.
I think what you're still going to find is that consumers have been spoiled by high production value content, and I think it's going to be really probably unlikely, but a challenge to wean people off of what they've watched. $200 million movies, $3 million TV shows. The novelty factor, if you want to call it that, of catching something that's funny, that's gotten a lot of buzz, but I have a feeling this is one of those things where it will be more the exception than the rule.
With thousands of companies competing for viewers, the Walt Disney Company is recognized as a leader when it comes to producing quality content. Rich Ross, president of Disney Channels Worldwide, is credited with launching Disney's lucrative High School Musical franchise. The first High School Musical, made for TV for less than $5 million, attracted close to 300 million viewers around the globe. High School Musical 3 made $250 million at the box office.
You can, yes, see High School Musical as a movie, or you can see High School Musical as an ice show. You know, it's being able to take your brands and have them extended over all these different experiences that connect with kids and families.
Think preteen girls watch the most TV? Actually, adults win that competition. 18 to 54-year-olds watched an average of 309 minutes of live and 14 minutes of recorded TV a day in 2008. That, according to a study funded by the Nielsen Company. Online video consumption clocked in at only 2.4 minutes a day, although other surveys reveal that it may be closer to 6. Whether viewed online or on TV, the demand for producing and watching video content appears insatiable.
Pretty much everybody nowadays is a video producer, not just a video consumer. And you've seen the tremendous growth in something like YouTube, where you have nowadays 13 hours of video being uploaded every minute. So just think about that. That's almost 20,000 hours of video per day. 13 hours of video per minute is almost equivalent to 4 Hollywood movies, full-length feature films being uploaded every minute. Now, how does that really happen? That must mean that there's somebody out there capturing all of that content, and that's coming through our cell phones and video cameras and PDAs. So not just big Hollywood studios, but you and I are now in the business of video production.
In 2009, Cisco Systems, which provides much of the infrastructure needed for watching video online, paid $590 million for Pure Digital Technologies, maker of the Flip camcorder. This cool camera, which costs under $200, makes it easy for people to shoot, edit, and upload video.
Television was, and essentially still is, a very closed system and structure.
Current TV, co-founded by former Vice President Al Gore Jr. and Dartmouth alum Joel Hyatt, relies on a mix of professional and amateur producers to file reports from around the world.
Our whole notion was based on that core innovation. Empower users and viewers to create content, to be able to tell their stories and share them with their generational cohort, be able to help define what is news and information. All of that was at the core of what we set out to do at Current.
Preference for mechanical rather than human service.
Current, which has 60 million cable subscribers and millions more watching online, is winning awards for its investigative reporting, as well as attracting major advertisers.
And building our audience and building our viewership both on TV and online is an important challenge for us. But it goes to programming and product.
Once the content is produced, the next big challenge is finding the perfect distribution channel.
If you go back to the early days of television, it was very clearly the case that there was one set, everybody watched it, typically all together. That's no longer the case.
Once limited to a handful of broadcast channels, today's links in the supply chain are broadcast, cable, satellite, Wi-Fi, WiMAX, and online or over-the-top distribution. Video-enabled mobile phones are also in the mix. Online distribution is appealing because it gives consumers the ability to watch, comment, and share the experience.
There's something fundamental about the human experience going on there. If you can listen to that, then you can walk into one of these providers of services or content and say, look, I know why people are consuming your media. It's not just because it's there. It's not just because you made it cheap. It's because they have some fundamental needs that they're meeting at a very basic emotional level. If you're in tune with those, I think you're in a strong position to help navigate the technology, the changes in business model. All of that stuff will eventually seem academic, but it's all being driven by the fundamental social needs that people have to share and experience this content together.
For $100, where did Dunder meet Mifflin? A, on Easy Street. B, a tour of Dartmouth College.
Whether people are watching alone or sharing the experience, finding the most profitable distribution models falls to executives like Carrie Ferman, a strategist at NBC Universal.
As content creators, what we need to do more effectively is, as platforms open up, use that as an opportunity to either reformat content that we have or create new content that's appropriate for the platform. I think the idea of taking what we have now in and of itself and forcing it onto different platforms, it's what hasn't been effective in the past.
Determining when to post popular TV programs online is critically important for networks like MTV.
I think MTV Networks and BET Networks is very focused on our consumers. So we follow where our consumers want to access our content. We think about when a piece of content goes on air versus when it becomes available online and on other platforms. And we treat each asset in many ways uniquely because our networks serve very different demographics, although they're mostly young audiences.
Even with free online access and mobile devices, Americans are apparently unwilling to cut the cord by disconnecting from their cable or satellite service provider.
If you look at where most video is consumed today, most video is still consumed inside the home. Today, we're very much accustomed to paying a regular recurring fee to get video inside our home. So maybe you would pay an additional fee to take said mobile experience outside the home.
Watching TV at home is what 65 million American cable subscribers do every day. Close to 30 million Americans pay for satellite television services. At this point, only 3 million people buy video services from their telephone company, but that number is growing. Content distributors are grappling with how to control access to proprietary content when there is so much available online at no charge. One potential strategy, called authentication, relies on passwords. Customers would pay one subscription fee and be able to access a variety of video content on a variety of devices. Time Warner is rolling out TV Everywhere, predicting that its new service would be free for 85% of American households who already have a cable subscription. Broadcast television networks must retain viewers to bring in ad dollars. Networks generate 50% of their revenues from affiliate fees. The remaining 50% is generated through advertising revenue. In an attempt to control access to their most valuable content, in May 2009, Disney, ABC joined News Corp and NBC Universal in the Hulu.com joint venture.
With limited commercial interruption by AMP Energy.
While big companies are joining forces to distribute content online, startups like Next New Networks and Tidal TV are definitely in the game to make money and win viewers.
We're about building audiences that you can either aggregate by demographic or go after in terms of specific interest, and then selling those or partnering those eyeballs into advertisers. We're the guys right in the middle trying to be the next generation of Turner Broadcasting, because when we look at the enterprise value that we're building, that we want to build, it's about owning these brands.
Filmmaker plus $99 equals music video. You're watching $99 music videos.
Simmons and his team create and produce a variety of low-budget online programs about everything from politics to hot rods to do-it-yourself fashion design. Next New Networks pushes its content out to other websites including Hulu, Yahoo, and YouTube. Robert Quicksilver, Chief Content Officer of Tidal TV, takes a different approach. Tidal aggregates mostly full-length programs for online viewing and works with partners to reach targeted audiences.
I think it initially started out almost all short-form content. Now, people are sitting down watching episodes of The Office or Desperate Housewives.
All right, let's go get the tools.
Design your dream kitchen. Go to hgtv.com/spice.
All that content means demand for moving video over the internet is growing by about 400% a year.
The cost of storage and bandwidth have dropped precipitously, which allows this video content to be stored efficiently on the internet and being streamed to millions of viewers, either through their cell phones or their PCs all over the world.
Cisco's service provider group is responsible for making sure clients have enough bandwidth to deliver their content.
But the real bottleneck still kind of lies in the last mile, the access to the home. So I think what we're going to have to see is more and more investment into fiber, deeper into the network, maybe all the way to the home. Very exciting for companies like Cisco, but of course the business model needs to be there.
Companies are also figuring out how mobile phones fit into the distribution puzzle.
I'm a big believer the mobile phone will be essentially not kill the computer, but make it much less important. Because the mobile phone already is plentiful around the world. Everybody has one. Video technology is allowing for, while it's a small picture, a very perfect picture. It's mobile, so that it allows kids to take it into their room, which is personal, which is important. I think in 5 years, there's no doubt that a kid will look at their phone as their TV.
Demand for video content is soaring and bandwidth is increasing exponentially. But the question remains, who is making the money? And how is technology changing business models when it comes to monetization?
You cannot slow down the growth of technology. We can't stop the creation of new platforms or slow that down. So that's a fact we live with. And the other factor that we live with is consumers are going to move in the direction that they want to move. And you either supply them with what they're looking for or get out of the way, because you're not going to be able to stop them. What we need to do is figure out a way to deliver that to them while still monetizing it.
Despite the buzz about online video, advertisers still favor traditional TV. In 2008, advertisers spent an estimated $69 billion buying ads on traditional television programs and only $587 million on online video ads. Online video ads are expected to increase to about $850 million in 2009, but that figure may be impacted by the soft economy. Video search is another way to monetize video content. Companies like blinkx offer advertisers the ability to place targeted ads within or adjacent to specific clips.
But what's powerful is being able to find that content and search for it. But how you do that in a non-text-based world is where we're going to end up going, and I think that's going to be the amazing frontier. But not just for content providers, but for advertisers in matching their advertising to the content to meet the specific demographics.
What we do is we spider the entire web looking for video, whether it's CNN, whether it's YouTube, whether it's MTV or HBO. When we find those videos, we analyze them very deeply. We use speech recognition and video analysis to literally have computers watch and listen to every word and frame of the video. And then we extract all that information and create a single searchable index.
Another successful model for monetizing content is through video on demand, or VOD. Viewers can quickly find and purchase video online or from their set-top box. Advertisers are drawn to this model because they can insert their ads into the programs, and by using technologies developed by SeaChange International, those ads can't be deleted or skipped over.
And so I think that what you're going to see is television changing more towards smart ads, targeted ads, make advertising relevant. If you make the ads relevant, the idea is that people won't want to fast forward. So by making a lot of assumptions and throwing advertisements that people don't want to watch, that's where, you know, it's somewhat, you know, forced in front of you today. And so I think that you'll see that go away in time.
Right. Good girl.
Not a company to waste time, Google is going after a piece of the TV advertising pie.
What Google is doing is extending our advertising platform from the internet to television. The primary benefit that we hope to bring is that users or viewers of television get to see more relevant ads, advertisers get to have more accountable advertising campaigns, and publishers or media companies get to monetize their inventory in a very efficient manner. Certainly the world of television and the world of the internet are coming together. That provides, again, tremendous opportunity for users, advertisers, and publishers. When you get to that cross-platform advertising utopia, I think advertisers really get a full bang for their buck because it assures their business from trends in the user's behavior.
HBO's chief technology officer believes no matter how popular online video becomes, traditional television is still winning the battle for monetization.
Broadcast television will still be one of the most efficient ways to reach masses with advertising, but it's not 100% of the market as it used to be.
Is it high definition?
Yeah, totally. You just sit closer, the picture's very big. The closer you sit, the bigger the picture.
That's not high definition.
Well, define high definition.
Past it was video rentals or video DVD purchases. In the future it's going to be electronic sell-through, electronic downloads. And the subscription model will continue as well because it's a very efficient economic model for people to get access to a lot and to still watch or enjoy those things that they want. It'll just be on different platforms.
About it, but I don't know if anyone's really going to be interested. I don't know if you're keeping up with technology.
That's all I can tell you for now. I don't know how this thing's going to turn out myself. You just keep your eyes on it.
I think it's the wild, wild west. Everybody's trying to come up with the right business model. I don't know that there is the right business model. As you said, things change every couple months, so you have to be pretty much on your toes and be willing to make adjustments quickly in this space because there's no rule book.
Part of what television can do, for example, that motion pictures cannot do, is to develop a story and a series of characters over time. That's an extraordinary dramatic capacity. The theater can't do that. The movies can't do that. Television can do that. The web can do that.
People love great content. If you own great content, if you create great content, you will be in a good place.
The thing about the cable television industry is it's an old-fashioned business model that is very, very attractive.
Professionally produced content is still going to be, the first things that people will watch.
New media companies are depending entirely on advertising as a revenue model. That's proving to be problematic. I believe it'll continue to be problematic.
I think there is going to still be a value exchange for it. I think the difference is there's place shifting and time shifting, so people can really, truly consume paid TV wherever and whenever.
The day is eventually going to come that you're going to say, I don't need to watch this on cable. I don't need to watch it over the air because I have it on the internet and I've connected my PC to the TV and I can watch it as if I was getting it from my cable company.
And then there's also a number of technical issues. One of the biggest ones, I think, is bridging the Ethernet to television gap. There is still no good solution to that. We all have homes with these amazing large screen TVs, and we all have homes with Ethernet connections, yet the two don't talk to each other yet.
I think the next big challenge is going to be meeting the demand for advertiser-supported content, what some would refer to as free TV. And I think that's going to be more of a challenge for all companies because there are a lot of incumbents in place, cable, satellite, and telco that are very happy with the way their business operates today, and over-the-top content going around their services and via broadband has some challenges for them.
It could very well be that in some cases the cable model might win, in some cases the telco model might win. It just depends on what their relative advantages or disadvantages are to that particular consumer that they're trying to approach.
And I believe that within 5 to 10 years, when you think about social networking, you think about community and how that's changing the web, we're going to see a blurring of video and its usage within that. So not only will it be an entertainment mechanism both in terms of traditional and internet, it'll also become the way that we actually communicate.
Well, this may sound funny, but I think we've discovered the killer app, and that is TV. So you're talking about variations on TV, high def or whatever, but watching a video program in your home is an enormously powerful thing.
Somebody can predict the demise of the broadcast television companies, but I think that, you know, the best ones will survive because they'll be nimble and they'll be smart, and they might buy us or they may innovate on their own, the same way they've had to over the last 20 years.
I think the asset that people are going to have over the next 5 to 10 years are going to be the human capital assets. I think the ability to understand technology, the ability to understand consumers, the ability to weather change, companies that have management that are able to do that. And I don't care what platform or content area you're in, if you have those type of people, you can be successful. The pace of change in the digital domain is so fast, no one really knows exactly what's going to happen. And so the people who can respond, the people who understand, the people who are just really sharp are going to be able to react faster than anyone else. So it's not about projection, it's about reaction.
I think the success will go to those who, again, can play into multiple platforms and move away from models where restricted media windows, which consumers don't want and don't need to put up with anymore, dominate. As we sit here today, most of the revenue still comes from those traditional channels of distribution, but it's only a matter of time before, if you're stuck in that world of the past, you just won't be one of the major players of the future.
Whatever the future holds, we know the battle for people, platforms, and profits will go on as long as people crave information and entertainment.